78% of suicide rates worldwide are men. What can we do to help them? Yeah, it's hard. If a guy says he feels bad, in most cases it's because he reached his limits. It's sad. This is so true. I just recently starting telling people I'm really depressed, stressed, angry, etc. It's because I don't know what else to do. It's absolutely killing me inside now. I started having panic attacks recently and have only told 2 people, and it was insanely difficult. I thankfully have never had suicidal thoughts, but I do sometimes think it'd be okay if I just died randomly. Like, at least then I wouldn't be feeling bad, and my family wouldn't have to wonder why I was gone. Never actually put that out there before. Feels bad. Really bad. I told my committed GF of 5.5 years I was feeling depressed and lost and like I wasn't ever going to get where I wanted to go. Lots of personal stuff involved here, but that's the gist. She dumped me because I wasn't stable enough for her, the girl who is living with her parents and having her mom and dad do all her chores and run all her car errands and grocery trips for her while she books Europe trips and dumps her serious boyfriend. Fun stuff, feeling like even in the most unconditional love I've ever experienced, I shouldn't have been open about myself and my own mental state. No. You absolutely should have opened up yourself because it enabled you to dodge a fucking bullet. My thought exactly, almost verbatim. He definitely dodged a bullet. Better to find out now, than later, that she is self-centered. My best friend, we've been friends for more than 20 plus years and we're 26 years old, so I know how he is, once told me he was done with life and wanted to walk away. Went after him and had good talk about his feelings and that he should get some help. Men aren't used to talk about their feelings, because it's not done or girly. It's so weird. Edit, my friend is in a much better place now. He learned to talk about his feelings and is more open about it, which is great. Look, I'll be honest. The idea that men aren't used to talking about their feelings is bunk. Men talk about what's going on with them all the time with the people they trust, because those people don't put them down, ignore or trivialize their feelings. The trouble these days is men no longer have friends, or the opportunity to form bonds with groups of other men where they can share in the way they used to. Women, wives, girlfriends, mothers, and sisters, by and large do not want to hear about men's feelings and will often tell us to man up or suck it up. However, men are generally expected to listen to their feelings and comfort them through their problems. A man has never told me those things, to suck it up or man up in relation to my emotional struggles. Women in my life have, so now I only share my feelings with men I trust. Men need to be heard, and society needs to stop telling them that their feelings are wrong or toxic. I think you've really hit the nail on the head here. This so much more nuanced of a problem and analysis, simplifying the whole issue into a matter of cultural stigma around male emotional expression, really closes off entire other discussions and misses the mark in doing so. I believe your critique is more of a commentary of individual alienation within the currently existing structure of social relations more than anything. Anyways, your comment opened my mind a little. Thanks. See, and as a man I'm actually an open book. I'll talk about almost anything in my life because I don't see the point in hiding feelings. The people who can't handle talking about feelings, we can talk about other stuff. They aren't worth me opening up to. The problem is that no one ever asks. I listen and listen to people's problems. I'm great at that, and I'm proud of that because I know all too well that people need an outlet for stuff. I'm happy I can give that to people. I just wish that sometimes they'd ask me about things, because they aren't going great. You're somewhat wrong. It's not that we think it's girly, it's that most of the people in our lives who ignore and trivialize out feelings are women. So we clam up. I'll tell you a story. I was dating a girl I had known since high school. When I told her I was a sexual assault survivor, first she told me I was lying. Then that such a thing can't happen to men. Then she used it as ammunition against me in an argument and shamed me. That's just one of many examples I could give. My brothers never shamed me and always had my back. If anyone ever wonders why guys don't talk about this kind of stuff, it's dunce like you. You're right. Fuck toxic masculinity. Duck that. People literally try to assert that extremely toxic masculine behaviors are the only way to behave like a real man. We have to get over these tired, worn-out ideas. Provide more opportunities to form communities and activities that cater to different men's needs. A lot of us don't have friends or intimate platonic relationships, and we're in desperate need of that. Meetup helps. Best I can think of is a video game group. Me and my friends have recently started a video game book club. We pick a game a month, everyone plays it, then we meet up and talk about what we liked or didn't like about it. It can be hard to pick a game especially since everyone needs to buy it, but there are a ton of great Steam/indie games out there or old used games you can pick up for cheap. It's been a hit and I can't recommend it enough. This sounds awesome. I'm a 34-year-old married man who is also a father and I have no friends that I see or socialize with on the regular. I think this is a part of aging and of having a family that needs me. The same can also be said for my wife. She is the only person in her circle of friends who is a working mother and is married, so she pretty much never sees any of her friends. Sometimes things like family duties can just bury all your free time outside of work. I'd bet a lot of money though that while your wife may not see her friends often, that she talks to them very regularly. I mean, it's telling that you start off saying you have no friends that you see or socialize with, but then describe her as having a circle of friends. The primary issue is in how men bond versus how women bond. Women can maintain very close relationships by simply talking over the phone. I'm obviously generalizing here, not every woman likes to spend 2 hours on the phone, some prefer texting, blah blah, the point is that they bond through talking. Men on the other hand bond through activities. It's pretty fucking hard to do an activity over the phone. Online gaming and voice chat has actually helped a lot with this problem, but most of the men suffering through this are going to have a hell of a time convincing their wife to let them game for 2 hours a night with their buddies. I mean, you ever walk into a bar with two old dudes? They're barely even looking at each other, they're usually sitting on the same side watching whatever game is on the TV. So yes, the same can be said for your wife, but it's not nearly the problem it is for her as it is for you, and we need to stop pretending that there are no differences between men and women and we're all the same. Loneliness will fucking kill you, and while it makes you feel like an asshole for even thinking that you might be lonely while you live in a house with a loving wife and your child, Ren, it doesn't mean it's not true. The way I've heard it put is women bond face to face but men bond side by side. Interestingly, this difference has been shown to be true with how men and women bond with their children as well. A couple months ago, my friend, who I hadn't even seen for a couple years, came over to my place while my fiancé was out of town, and we just played video games together. For about 6 hours we just chilled and played video games. When my fiancé came home, she started asking what we talked about, if we talked about her or our relationship or basically anything else. When I told her no, we barely talked unless it was about the game, but mostly just played games. She actually got upset about this, not to an extreme level or anything, but she didn't think it was a good use of our time. She just didn't like it really, so much so that she doesn't really believe all we did is play video games and did not talk about deep personal issues. The thing is, it was what I really needed. We talked about the games, he got to try VR for the first time. Shit, I didn't even give him a tour of my house that he's never been in before, we just went straight to the game room and started playing. We didn't even drink, it was just good to play video games with someone who doesn't ask so many damn questions, or needs help understanding the concepts. What I don't understand is we have 2 boys, the 5-year-old lives with us full-time and has his friends over a lot. When his friends are over, they are not having conversations, they are playing video games. She sees that and doesn't question why him and his friends are not talking to one another about school or what their other friends said, they are simply spending time together. Yet suddenly the fact that my friend and I didn't play a round of 50 questions was not time well spent. She can and does talk to her friends for hours on the phone, I don't. What little time I get to spend with my friends, we are doing something, even if it's basically just working on a car or project. Well said. The bonding through activities is 100% accurate. As a married 3-3-yo, it's how I stay up to date with friends. It's embarrassing how much I enjoy Fortnite, but the social aspect of the game is why I love it. I get to stay up to date with some of my best friends regularly by logging on a few nights a week. My wife loves it because she hears me laughing all the time. It's tough, man. Like, I've made new friends over the past 5 years, but when I think about how often I see these people, I can't even remember. I'll meet dudes that I think are pretty cool and I could see myself hanging out with, but where does it go? So you reach out, let's say, and see if they want to do something. Busy. They do the same. Now you're busy. They reach out again and I don't really feel like it, I've been so busy, I kind of just wanna chill out at home and beat this game, and it goes on and on until you both just give up and see each other whenever your girlfriends hang out or if they shop at your store or whatever the case is. I've got a good buddy of mine that I talk to pretty regularly through FB chat, but I have literally never hung out with him outside of work-related things where he will help me with a trade show or he'll pass by to pick something up or drop something off and we'll chat a big. Like, now that I think of it, I have literally never once hung out with this guy outside of situations like I just described. He has 2 kids, he basically can't do shit. He usually helps me with trade shows, but he had to pass on the one coming up this weekend, and I couldn't find anyone else in time to go, because Saturday he has basketball and there was no way his wife was going to let him have 2 days outside of the house, even though the Sunday with me would involve him working and making money. When I really noticed it was when my group of online friends started to get busy and not game as often, but when they would game they played a game I didn't enjoy. I didn't realize how much I was getting out of those sessions until they were gone and I was left thinking, why the duck am I so lonely? Nothing's changed.